Nowadays you see a lot of us putting on the range of motion braces for the elbow. So that kind of defeats the purpose of this cast. But occasionally you will be called to put one of these on. The other reason why I maintain this cast in the program, along with the knee one, is it gives you an understanding of how you're supposed to bend the hinges. Now the elbow range of motion braces that we use at Kaiser they're not very malleable. But the knee ones are. So you can see I'm planning for this cast to be in 2 stages already. We have 2 completely separate stockinettes. A true elbow hinge cast is going to have the hand in it, where the elbow hinge cast brace does not. What am I going to treat with this? Anybody have any idea?
Supercondylar fractures?
No, not really.
Electronal? Yeah.
No.
Distal humerus?
Well, how about medial or lateral condyles? Those are probably the most common. You can also treat some medial or lateral collateral ligaments of the elbow. So right now, it's just going to look like a standard long arm cast, except my stockinette, right? Parameters are all going to stay the same. You guys should be getting really good at wrapping web roll by now, right? All of you. I'm not going to get too concerned about my 90 degrees, but I'll be aware of it. If she slides out of it, I'm not too concerned.
The first stockinette, does it go to mid?
You got to understand, when I want to have enough that I'm going to fold it back too.
Oh,
You remember that. You remember you guys all cut your stockinette short.
I was just thinking where you made the first cut.
Yeah, yes,
Mid-
because I'm
okay,
going to
okay.
fold this back
Okay.
up over to this one, and this one's going to be folded all the way back over like a short arm. Now you can roll a short arm cast and then also a Sarmiento cuff cast. I just do it all as one. Because it's basically just a long arm cast with the supercondylar molds like a Munster. Again, not a very common cast. I'm going to take it up a little higher than I would a long arm, just because I know that this hinge is going to be long on her and we can't go bending it. Got it? I can't cut this hinge down. For people that are rolling on short arms, you're going to struggle a little bit more. The proximal part of this cast is truly a Sarmiento cuff, and the distal portion is a short arm cast. So make sure you pad accordingly. I don't need to spend a whole lot of time on the olecranon, because that's going to be completely out of the cast, right? But I will spend some time where my borders are going to be. Got it? So I also keep that in mind when I'm rolling the cast too. I'm going to build up a little areas where I think I need to be built up, especially when I'm doing Munsters and Sarmientos, where these molds are, where that border is going to be. That might be a little bit thicker because I can't take my money roll back to that area. And I want you guys to start thinking about that as you're rolling your casts. You got a water?
The bottom.
Wait. you should pay real close attention to the supination and pronation. Because that's part of the whole thing. You'll see when I'm putting the hinge on, that's the one place where you can kind of screw this up.
You said it's a Sarmiento that's not really up to the AC joint.
Yes. It's a little bit higher than, say, I would do a long arm cast.
Switching onto the AC joint.
So I have 2 rolls of plaster.
Like an inch.
I'm not folding back any of my stockinette. Still putting my standard posterior splint on. Making my patient a mess. As long as there's no plaster on me, I'm happy. And then this last roll is just literally holding that on. I will go through the web space on this one. My money roll is yet to be put on. Gonna make sure that I give her a little bit of pronation. I get my 60s handshake, just like your long arm cast. All right, you guys got this? No problem. I got my Munster molds in there, right? Don't hold the arm out. Put it down to their side. What if I get a crease in antecubital space? This is probably doesn't matter that much in this cast. So I'm gonna trim it out. Condyles, mediolateral collateral ligaments, probably the most common. Intra-articular fractures, meaning mediolateral epicondyles as well. Those are all would be. It's starting to harden up. Now my molds are in here. Where's my cutouts going to be? Below, down here, right? These molds mark what? Exactly, which is where? That's the joint. That is the joint line. Right distal to those condyles is the joint line. So that's where the middle of this hinge is going to go. So we put a range of motion brace on today. Where'd you go? That's the other right. And the one thing that you guys got to watch for when you put that is that hinge goes right over the lateral epicondyle. Same thing with this. Yes.
So you said you're going to cut under the molds?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like a Sarmiento.
All right.
I immediately know that this is going to fold down and trim that. cast. Pretty cool.
At the same time.
Anybody got a pen? Well, all right. So again, that's one cutout. I'm marking it now. Keeping my molds in the cast. This is about my short arm. Oh, I'm sorry, one more time. I need that. So now the hard part. The whole reason why you're doing this lab. I need to contour this hinge to fit her. Now you guys have seen me go back and put ROM braces, mostly knees, remake them, right? Put brand new ones on, or take possibly back with the nurses where they just want me to refit it. And part of the thing is I want this hinge. So the middle of this hinge, right on the joint line, which is going to be right distal, that's where that's going to sit. Okay? This doesn't do too bad of a job. I want this to contour to her the best that I can make it.
We all like to share this one?
No, we have other hinges. Okay.
Might be cool.
With the cast as possible. Now, I got that in the right spot. What about this one? This one, it starts off, but then I needs to contour going. Contour is pretty good. I like it. This plastic is supposed to tilt down. You're supposed to, you can use tape. We don't have any tape, so you're gonna have to really put your fiber, your plaster on real tight to get it to contour down, okay? Now, once I got this lined up, now her elbow's pretty good 90 degrees, so that means that this hinge should be 90 degrees, right? You want it to match the anatomy. The last thing you want is a hinge that, if her elbow's at 90 and the hinge is at 75, it defeats the whole purpose of the hinge because we can't dial things in. The other thing that you're going to mark is I'm going to mark exactly where I want this thing to go. Make sure you mark as much as you can. Because remember, you're going to cut this out. This is not going to be there. The only thing that's going to be there all you're going to see is this portion and this portion. This is all gone. So you got to be able, when you line that up, that it's all going to be, it's going to line up real nicely for you.